Welcome back, everybody, to the barbershop. Going to be part 3. We've been working with Cody Grable and kind of covered everything from music to nerdy D&D. And I play D&D, so I can say that. But yeah,
it's our word, damn it.
It's our word, you nerf herder. So you were just talking a little bit about Magic: The Gathering and how it also is owned by like Wizards of the Coast and everything. Is there anything that you're trying to do for, I mean, you got all these people out there that, tabletop and monetize this. So as far as Roll20, Critical Role, all them, obviously when you get backings from like, Matt Mercer, you're in the clear. Things can roll a little bit quicker. But, I mean, there are dudes out there doing it, like the McElroy brothers. Roll. I made a joke. But, you got the McElroy brothers, got a podcast and everything like that. Are you wanting to do anything along those lines?
Oh, yeah, because I just think that would be fun. Because, I enjoy watching those.
Oh, yeah.
I love watching Critical Role, when I have the time to sit through a 2-hour-long episode. But at the same time, if I got time, I'm going to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I love D&D so much, or I can get into it by watching other people that really get into it. It's entertaining. Plus, you can also get ideas for shit.
Oh, for sure.
That's one of the bigger ones. Watching other people, it's that sounds cool. I kind of got to mix that to do what I want to do, or however. That's the same with, Magic: The Gathering. One of the podcasts I listen to and YouTube channels I very religiously, I think I'm a Patreon of one, but it's a Command Zone. They do Magic: The Gathering, and then, they have, Commander games and stuff like that, and they'll have, hour-long episodes of them, really good editing, and, it's like a show.
Mm-hmm.
But, and it shows how big that's come, because they've had, Post Malone's been on there twice.
That's awesome.
Playing Magic: The Gathering.
I didn't realize he was that big a nerd.
Oh, dude, he for one, I always thought he'd be a cool dude to meet in general before.
Sounds like it.
I always thought he'd just be a cool guy to meet. But yeah, he's super into Magic. He recently, a few days ago, through some app, I think it's called Whatnot or something like that, he put a thing out where it's hey, if you think you can beat me in Magic, I'll pay you $100,000.
Oh my god!
And people entered, and
some
guy ended up going, and they had people from Command Zone there because they're super good buddies. And the little bit I seen, the dude ended up winning. Granted, if you let him win, whatever. But the dude ended up winning. They broadcast it through whatever, and it's it's just Post Malone chilling.
That's awesome.
It's man, could you imagine the money that motherfucker could spend on some cards?
Oh god.
Well, he said I think in that one he's oh yeah, I spent $800,000 on one card.
Well, he's easily spent what was it $40,000 on a watch, so I'm sure that he'd be dropping.
He's got the fucking money.
Oh yeah, he's got the money. But I actually really not only enjoy Post Malone's music, but I love the fact that I've learned so much about that man. One, he starts drinking Bud Light at 10 o'clock in the morning. His house has his own Bud Light fridge that Bud Light stocks.
I heard that.
I've heard that. I've heard that he, the missus, she's dying to get a hold of that Mason No. 9. He's got his own wine.
No shit.
It's a rosé, specifically the one she wants, but he's got Mason No. 9. He owns a winery.
Huh.
And he distributes wine. I have not found a wholesaler, so it's not here in town. You're going to have to go and Grizzly or whatever the heck
Talk to Post Malone himself.
Talk to him yourself, yeah. Hey, shoot, hit him up on Instagram. Who knows? He might reach out to fans.
Well, that's the thing. He seems like he would. He seems super, down to earth. And it's around that time, I think, when he really started, the mumble rap shit, that I don't care. I love rap, but the mumble rap I don't care for. Or that style, and you got we grew up Tupac, Biggie, and
there's a lot of enunciation. You knew what the rap was about.
Druggy Eminem when he did drugs, and how hard he was back in the day. He's still fucking hard, but now all the rappers got tattoos all over their faces.
All the rappers got tattoos.
Which I got tattoos all over me, but not on my face. But I listened to Post Malone a couple times. I'm all right, he's good. But, man, when he came out with Circles, that's when it got me. I was damn, that's a good fucking song. So I started listening to more. I'm all right. And then seeing, his stuff outside, with TikTok and what, I was he just seems like he'd be a genuine dude to, meet in person.
He's a massive gamer.
I know. It's dude.
What's its nuts? Dang it. Psycho. When he talks about my APs going psycho, he's referring to doing psycho and getting advance points off of Fallout.
No shit.
Yeah, that's what that's talking about.
Oh, fuck it.
He's talking about, I think it was Fallout 4, and, how you can go pick up Psycho.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then, that's what I'd heard, that he's just crazy gamer, and then what else? There's one more thing. He's a metalhead.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
been
like,
backstage with
on his,
Motionless and White. He's
one
been
of his,
backstage with...
tattoos on his knuckles is Dimebag Darrell.
Nice.
From Pantera.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
dude.
he's gone chilling with Slipknot.
Well, it had Ozzy on his one show, and it was funny because I remember seeing something like he brought him out for the song that they did. Like Ozzy was at the show.
Yeah.
And I just remember, I think of whatever I was watching, someone was like, "Who's that?"
I've seen those memes where it's like Ozzy Osbourne has not been driving the crazy train since the '60s. Just for someone to think that Post Malone's going to make Ozzy famous.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like, no. Hold your fucking horses. But then I remember seeing somewhere Post Malone, he was like, y'all don't know who the fuck this is?
He's like, how young is my fan base?
Well, it's like, for real. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Or that fucking meme that went around that is still one of the funniest looking ones where that chick's flashing him and his reaction, he's just mouth wide open, like, but it's a meme. It was a meme for a little bit. It's like, oh, come on. That's just fucking great. He just seems like he'd be a real cool motherfucker.
He does. He seems like he'd be
But yeah,
chill.
that's how I seen him through all that, the Command Zone and shit. And I was like, you know what? I thought that would be cool, especially like with D&D, because one of the other podcasts I listen to is like You Meet in a Tavern.
Nice, okay.
That's a really good podcast.
I have not gotten into him yet. I've heard, I think, the first episode. And I want to pick that back up. Right now I'm stuck on Disaster Squad, run by the dude that runs the YouTube Puffin Forest.
Okay.
He's got a bunch of those cartoons. He's working with that not Doja Cat, Joe Cat.
Joe Cat.
That does the crap guides.
Uh-huh.
And then he's working with Dingo Doodles gal.
Dingo Doodles.
That's a hell of a name. But still. Yeah, and it's pretty good. I'm like 9 episodes in. It's pretty cool. They're actually playing Mutants and Masterminds. They're not playing D&D in Disaster Squad. But it's a very close, similar 50 kind of system and everything. There's a lot of point buy to prep their character, and they can put their skills in all kinds of things. Basically, they are playing as superheroes in a modern setting, and they're trying to vanquish all the mutant villains that are blowing up cityscapes and taking towns hostage. It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. But that's one that I've listened to pretty closely, and he actually helped me get some ideas as far as that Puffin Forest.
That's like same with like You Meet in a Tavern. Like I've listened to a good chunk of their first campaign that they did. And I just started listening to, like, they're playing Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, I would love to get a hold of one of those.
It's like, dude, I've heard about that game, never really played it, so I'm like thinking like, man, that'd be really awesome to play. Because one of my, probably if not my second favorite author is Lovecraft. He's so fucking good. And it's like I love all that shit and the weird, crazy shit.
Cosmic horror is just fantastic to dive into.
Well, it's cosmic horror because you kind of know what it is, but you never really know what it is.
Yeah, because we can't grasp it.
Yeah, we can't. We go mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they're doing that, and it's like that kind of bumped up with, you know, maybe wanting to start my own like Twitch or podcast mainly to start with, just doing like D&D, kind of how they do it. It's like it's just them playing D&D. That's all it is. Fun shit. Like, why not? I like listening to it, and I know the people I play with like playing it. So
for sure, yeah.
But that also turned into, like, you know, I'm a real big fan of board games.
One of them that I want to try and get you over here to play is Arkham Horror.
I have that game.
You
I've not played
Arkham.
it.
I've
bought it, and I have not played it yet.
I would happily get something set up for you, and we'll try and get, you know, John and everybody over.
I would fucking love that.
I would happily do that for you. I've run Arkham Horror about 3 different times. Each board, there's like 6 total stories.
Yeah. Depending on the
side of the board you're playing on,
or whatever you're
playing.
Like,
and then you've got the they call it not just the game master, but like the whatever.
The keeper.
You got the keeper.
Keeper of arcane lore.
Yeah, you got the keeper.
And we're investigators.
And it's worth the play. It alone took, you know, on average takes me like 2 hours to set it up. But it's worth it. There's because you want to talk about immersive, because you've got all your traps are immersive puzzle pieces that go on the board. You set up the board by the room based on the keeper's guide. You got to hide all. You got a stack of, like, you enter the room after you can get in the room if you got to beat the puzzle. But then you have the stack of, like, you unlock the safe and you beat this puzzle and you find this. And then under that is this piece of hidden equipment. And then you find this item under here. Or the nuisance of you've broken open this door using the hatchet that you found in the other room, and there's nothing in here.
Well, I had seen, like, people play it, because I remember watching it. I can't can't remember what the show was called, but Will Wheaton had a show.
Yeah,
where he just kind of explained different board games and how to play it, and then they would play it, and that was one of them. I was like, that looks like a fucking awesome game.
Will Wheaton's Betrayal at House on the Hill. I caught that.
Oh, dude, that's
and
what got me into that game, because it was so
game.
fucking good. I was like,
oh,
this game sounds awesome, because it's like it's Scooby-Doo, but you have 100%. So many different endings depending on who gets it and what happens.
And you don't know what you're going to play until you start the game.
You don't know if it's like, oh, someone's the fucking betrayer.
Board's never the same.
Or there's no betrayer, but...
Oh, there have been times where there was no betrayer. There was an alien that was abducting the house. There was a time that there was no betrayer, but the house is falling into hell.
Yep.
There have been a time where the betrayer is asleep, and he's unleashing these ghosts from his dreams or dream demons or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
There have been hellhounds that get let loose. People become witches, and you all become rats.
I think I did that one time.
It's crazy
because it was like I did because I remember one of the dudes like, so I'm a fucking rat now.
Yeah,
like dude. Yeah. Sorry, that's what it says.
All the like the heroes are rats. That the witch is unleashing these demon cats into the house to catch you.
Some weird
crazy.
Shit. Well, that and I like how the game is like, oh, you go into this room. All right, flip the tile. What's the room look like?
Yes, it's
like, so you could like.
You build the board.
And it's like, that's fucking awesome. Because I played it with some friends one other time outside of me and my wife playing it. And it was like, they fucking like, oh, this is fucking fun.
It is.
Like, it's so entertaining.
So much fun.
But yeah, it's like, I thought that would be cool because it's like that. And I think there's one other one I've watched where they do board games and shit like that. But I mean, I think it would be fun. But, I mean, a lot of people I know like playing board games. So it's like.
Do you have anything set up now?
No,
okay, but that's gonna be coming.
Yeah, because other than a possible name, that's about it, like Shredder Gaming.
Shredder Gaming.
Because a lot of people have always called me Shredder from fucking playing guitar and shit like that. I mean, I got it tattooed on my knuckles.
Absolutely,
so,
yeah.
I mean, I figure that fit better.
Where can anyone find you now so they can try and get a hold of you and keep an eye out for when you finally start
I got my Facebook.
All right.
At my name. That's about it.
All right.
Because I figured once I really get everything set up what I want to do, I'll start, YouTube and the podcast and Twitch, Twitter, Instagram and shit like that. Really once I get it more like, okay, I'm ready to put it out there. Now, like, oh yeah, I'm putting it out there, and then it sits dormant for a little bit. Because I don't have nothing ready.
No, I hear you.
But I just wanted to start it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, it sits there for a while, just doesn't do anything.
Make sure you got content ready.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm doing it. Boom, here's this. Boom, here's this type shit.
Fuck yeah.
Because that's also getting, like, especially if I wanted to do, like, the board game thing, that would be more of, like, camera setups and shit like that.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of hard, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to move my character over here, and you're listening to a podcast. It's like, oh, did you see that happen on the board? That's crazy.
It's like, this is an audio medium. Like, this is kind of difficult to watch.
Man, that sounded so fucking cool. My grandma would love it because it'd just be like old times.
It'd be like radio, yeah. Just got to radio show it. That's what we're.
It's probably a 4. I heard it roll.
I heard that roll. It's going to be a 4.
It's probably adjacent.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is Jeremy. I'm so glad I finally got to have my buddy Cody on here. Hey. And keep an eye out for his stuff. It's probably going to be under that same moniker where he's excited to use Shredder Games. And just keep yourselves looking forward to anything he's going to be coming out. And I'll probably try and do some collabing with him, especially for all the nerdy D&D and board gaming and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Remember that as long as the lights are on and there's beer in the fridge, you will have a barbershop.